It was a very rainy night in County Mayo, Ireland, August 21st, 1879. Mary McLaughlin, the priest's housekeeper, was returning home from visiting friends, accompanied by young Mary Byrne, a girl of the village. As they came near to the church, they were astounded to see, unmistakably, the radiant figures of three people hovering a bit above the ground in front of the church gable. Strangely, though the rain continued to pour down all around, it somehow did not rain on the figures. The girl ran off to bring her aunt and uncle, and soon 15 people were staring in awe at the sight of these three people, recognized by all as Mary, Joseph, and the disciple Jesus loved. To the side of them was an altar on which a lamb appeared, surrounded by angels. For 2 hours the strange visitors stayed, without moving, without saying a word. No one had ever seen anything like it. Of course, the church is always very skeptical about reports of strange phenomena, and wisely so. The vast majority turn out to be either a hoax, a moneymaker, or an illusion of someone not entirely balanced. Nor can our faith be based on signs and wonders. Jesus condemned as evil a generation that seeks signs. As always, it was meticulously investigated, and the 15 witnesses, all simple, everyday people, maintained under oath to their dying day that they saw what they saw. They had no fancy or insightful explanations for it, nor did they want anything out of it, but they remembered it as long as they lived. I was able to visit the spot where this is said to have occurred. Of course, I have visited a great many sacred places in many parts of the world, some of our own faith and some of entirely different faiths. In certain places, I have felt a very powerful energy that almost overwhelmed me. In others, I have felt something I did not like at all, while in still others, I felt nothing at all. Certain places, consecrated by some important event, or by years of prayer and pilgrimage, or by their very nature, seize the soul and lift it up to higher things. Some places speak to the heart of one and say nothing to the heart of another. This particular place, Knock, spoke to me in a way that many of the more famous and larger holy places did not. There was something special about it, regardless of what occurred. Its simplicity, its gentleness, its silence spoke to me powerfully. I visited the graves of many of the witnesses and wondered what thoughts must have been going through their minds, what confusion and bewilderment must have seized them as they so unexpectedly saw this strange sight. I imagined, too, that they must have remembered this day every day of their life. Most of all, I imagined that they must have felt much as Simeon and Anna felt that day in the temple, when they instinctively knew they were seeing something that would change their lives and the life of the world forever. After an experience like that, they could fully understand Simeon's explanation. Nunc dimittis servum tuum Domine. Now, Lord, I am truly ready to go from this world in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation. Who wouldn't be ready to gaze on the things of God forever, once having been given a brief glimpse of them on earth? What these witnesses saw was not the usual depiction of the Holy Family. It was extraordinary, unique even. Oh, Mary was there, and Joseph too. That would have been expected. But the family, as seen at Knock, did not end with this holy couple. There, sharing their space, was another figure who seemed to belong just as much as the other two to that family. And that was the beloved of Jesus, the one described over and over again in the scriptures as the one Jesus loved. That beloved disciple, adopted with so much love into the beautiful holy family of God, is you, and you, and you, and I, beloved of God. What a startling revelation to see ourselves there as a very real part of that family of families. What a vision of consolation. What a realization of the boundlessness of God's love. Not a word was spoken at that remote village in Ireland. If there was a sign that day, it was the sign of love, the sign of belonging, the marvelous sign that we are not alone. 100 years later, in 1979, Pope John Paul II visited the holy place and was deeply moved. His words are still remembered as capturing the simple and awesome power of its message. No words were spoken, he said, yet everything was said. After experiencing the peace and simplicity of Knock, after recognizing the presence of God in the wonderful people sent into my life each day, after opening my eyes and my heart to God's all-embracing love, I too can cry out with ancient Simeon, "Now, Lord, I can go in peace, for my eyes have been witness to the awesome wonders of your love."